Okie dokie. Lots of buzz coming out of the NBA today. A lot of trades happening.
Yeah,
So we'll cover that. First off, Diego, welcome. 1 week later, how we feeling?
feeling amazing. Actually, I was looking back at my setup and I just wanted to point out one of the greatest colleges ever to exist, the University of Illinois, has won 11 straight games. I just saw that. Yeah, number 5
They
team
just
in the
beat
nation.
Nebraska too, right? That was like a big win for them.
It was amazing. I was scared in the first half, in the second half we locked in. So that was there was if you were here in the seat during that game in that first half, you would have heard me say, "Why are we playing a 2-3 zone?" And it kind of worked, but I'm just anti-zone. But what do I know? I don't talk to NBA coaches or scouts like Illinois coaching staff does, so they know a bit more ball than I do. But pretty good from there. Excited,
Did you see that reminded me of Jason Kidd's like just typical rant moment at the I
bro.
don't think he was directing it at the reporter. It was just kind of like
You
at
just
people who thought like Cooper Flagg
yeah,
at the point guard was stupid. Why don't we get like a real point guard? We'll talk about that
yeah.
in a bit. But
So funny.
yeah, that just reminded.
Yeah,
Sometimes, like, and this is for the viewers out here, we're not talking as if we're experts. We play, we play basketball. We're just saying like what we think is the right thing to do, but ultimately there's a lot of variables we don't know, right?
hmm
So you gotta take that into consideration. And Diego and I will be the first to admit when we're wrong about stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, we're we're not afraid to admit it, and we understand that we're just having fun out here. But yeah, that was kind of I always have those moments too, especially at my teammates. Where like today
Oh
at
god.
pickup, just this guy, he's probably like 10 or 15 years older than me, but like he still frustrates me because he doesn't pass like precisely in the right
Mm,
spot you need him to, and he
yeah.
always takes ill-advised shots, always missing layups and freaking stuff.
Yeah.
And like he took this one like fadeaway contested shot where I'm like, okay, this is not high percentage. Why are we doing this? So I was like, no, 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 no. I'm yelling this out in the air because when I'm
God.
on the court, like I'll just say whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then he made the shot, and I'm just like, yes, 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 at the end. And I had so many of those moments
Menace. Yeah.
that I just accept it. So yeah, yeah, that's I've been there, man. I've been there.
Valid.
All right, so we got plenty of film. I think Diego, you'll love this first one. Diego actually, for one, spot up some clips. So thank you, Diego.
Had a quick look.
Let's take a look. And I think it was a mistake to do that because the first clip we're going to show was Cooper Flagg, of course, having the 49-point game.
Yeah, man.
That was a great matchup between him and Kneppel. So
Yeah.
we'll just talk through as we were watching it. Diego, why did you send me this? What are you noticing? 49
Just
points is crazy, but
it is crazy. I was like, how did he even do this? And I think I'm just amazed at just all the ways, like getting to the paint so easily, being able to pull up for middies. Like, look at this hanging in the air. I love his dunk package. This is just that was completely separate, but and I don't know if it shows any of his defensive highlights. I think he got a few blocks.
LaMelo, get out of
Uh,
the way, man.
the touch is insane. I saw one tweet where it was like, this man stopped Cooper from getting 50 points. It was Caleb Martin when he went up for this crazy dunk. Oh, yeah, he's gonna do. No, I love this layup because he goes again, like attacking the angle that the defender's coming at. Just such great touch inside. And this is also, I actually had one of my friends from college. She was at this game, and I was like, that must have been so crazy. And she's like, yeah, they retired Mark Aguirre's jersey for some reason, like 40 years after dude played. But yeah, look at this. Tween like pull up from deep, just wild. I mean, clearly, obviously, the number one pick in this draft. Everyone's saying he could be a star after this. He's going to be a star in this
Oh yeah,
league. I'm
after this,
excited.
yeah, of course. Like that's yeah, recency bias, but okay, whatever. I
Awesome.
think the one thing I'll say, the thing I noticed about him is like he doesn't he reminds me of Luca in this aspect. He doesn't seem rushed when he makes
Yeah.
his move, and like even when he gets bumped, he still keeps his momentum and he's gliding on the court. It just looks smooth. Like
Hmm.
Prime Paul George was different kind of smooth, but
Yeah,
like he's always moving forward and gliding, and he's able to find the angles on the floaters, the awkward angles, the
the
pull up
touch.
jumpers, like, and
Yeah.
that's what's I think that's what throws off defenders a little bit. Even though like he kind of moves at the same speed every time, it's like not he has excellent like footwork and hand-eye coordination for his
Yep.
speed, like which makes it different. Like normally when you're talking about like that elite of a player, you're like, can you change pace? Like or
Hmm.
what like change rhythms of like when you go, when you're trying to explode to the basket, or when you're trying to make a move, or like you're trying to read the top foot of the defender. And Flagg does some of that, but like his game is more predicated on like his ability to move at the same rhythm. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. When you said he's like Luke, I was worried because I'm like, I mean, they're both white, but at least
No,
Cooper plays
they're
defense.
no. Come on, man. You
No, but I'm
think on
just
this podcast I would make such a generalization? Come on,
no, but then
come
I was like,
on.
I was going through. I was like, they're both white. But that's too obvious. And then I was like, I know it's not defense because Cooper plays defense, and that's probably the one thing I like about him more than Luca is he's so two-way oriented, and it just makes me think my lucky stars that the Mavs that Nico Harrison made that deal with the devil. Like
Wait. What? I'm sorry.
he had to
One
do.
year later, you're happy that Nico made that deal?
Well, I mean, for what it turned out to be, obviously he didn't know that unless he did make a deal with Satan himself. But aside from that, yeah. So pretty lit for the Mavs. This was a great matchup too. With I think you were saying Con Nipple.
Nipple was on fire early, man. That guy, he's the next coming of Clay
Oh.
Thompson, like
Hmm.
instantly already, and like, and this draft class is just insane,
I know
just
that's one
insane.
thing.
Because we'll talk. We're not planned to talk about Ace Bailey, but like now with the Jaron Jackson move,
Yeah,
Ace
there's
Bailey, Lowry Markkinen, like they're
there are things to
like
talk
Lowry
about.
Markkinen is gonna be playing the three. That's gonna be like
Yeah.
the Houston like Pacific Northwest, like
Hmm.
that's or like Midwest. But I don't know where Utah sits in that. But that's like this draft class is gonna be insane.
Yep.
But like Edgecombe, like it's lot of great players in this draft class, and I think you saw that.
Yep. And I guess the last thing talking about draft classes, I just remember like I already knew Cooper Flag was pretty good going into the Olympics, but then hearing like legends of the game, like LeBron James and those other guys on this Olympic team in 2024 saying that they played him and he was like he looks like he plays like a man, he's not like scared, he's playing at his own pace at 17. He hadn't even played a college game yet and they were saying that about him. That's that's just wild and I think although this next 2026 class looks really good, Cooper's lucky enough he got that chance. It's crazy. He's so good. Gonna be a star soon. Is a star, I would say.
Do you think he's the best number one overall pick since LeBron?
It's tough to. It's hard to say that when Wemby exists. Anthony Edwards as well is up there. I think he competes with Anthony Edwards at the end of their careers. There's gonna be a debate, but Wemby is it's hard. Or you could bring up Risa if you want to joke around.
Hey man,
Remember that?
don't
It's
make
so
fun of my
funny.
fantasy basketball waiver wire selection, okay?
Yeah.
Christ.
It's not a bad waiver wire selection. It just shows you how not great of a draft class that was.
I
Yeah,
mean, he doesn't need to be with Jalen Johnson. We'll see. But
that's true.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right,
Yeah.
Keon Ellis, talk to me about his defense. Ooh, get that
Yeah.
out of here.
I saw this one tweet where he's like a 8.9 pest rating. I don't know who makes that rating, but he's just so active, active with the hands, is ready. And I think I don't know if this is after the Cleveland trade. I don't know if we want to talk about that at all, but it's just such a good player and overall player. He doesn't really do too much on offense, right? This is all defensive playmaking. But at the contract he's at, I think he's like sub $5 million a year for his contract. That's like an absolute steal. Look at this. Making that pass. You just love it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he can do for this Cleveland team, who's looks like they're ramping up to do make other moves. It's very exciting.
I mean, the thing that stands out is he has in the key did he just block Steph Curry?
Yeah, that was kind of insane. Stealing it from
Okay,
SGA.
all right.
He has
Um,
crazy highlights.
yeah, I mean, he has an innate ability to like get into the shot pocket,
Hmm.
like on dribbles. Like he knows where the dribble is gonna stop, like at its peak, on like a variety of ball handlers. That's insane. Like and he does a good job of like understanding concepts on the defensive
Hmm.
end. He knows like if Chris Paul drives on the last play and like
Yeah,
and even here, like where are these players trying to go with the ball? He
amazing.
knows like when to pick their pocket, when to read them to get steals. Like
Mhm.
that takes a lot of like film study, and you can tell he's been doing that. That's a risk. Like
Yeah,
trying to get the ball like of doing the spin. Like I tried that in gym and I missed, but um, yeah, credit to him. He has great instincts, and that's a skill to be able to like figure out like like that's just crazy. Like they're not expecting it, and he's still able to reach into like the exact pocket of when the ball is gonna reach his peak.
yeah. And I think there was one play where he like contests the pass, and then the guy either passes it or whatever, and he still chases not just the IQ, but the defensive hustle with the defensive IQ. Sorry, it's so important. Yeah, I just love seeing this kind of defense, like a guy kind of reading the situation before it happens. It's just beautiful to watch. So
Hmm.
that's why he was coveted by the Kings, and yeah, good business for the Cavs to get him.
Yeah, great ad by the Cavs. I love what they did so far, even though like losing Garland's gonna suck for a bit, like
Yeah,
for Cleveland. But like I think if they end up getting this James Harden deal finalized, could be something to note.
yeah,
Could be
man,
something to note.
very interesting.
Okay, Joel Embiid.
He dropped
First
40
time we've
points.
seen a 40-point game from him. Joking, of course, but I mean, we know the book on Embiid, like he's still like one of the best centers in the game.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna put Jokic above him,
well,
but
yeah,
like we've seen him at his peak, and look at him schooling Patrick Queen. Get out of here, my man. Like
yeah.
that's not the issue with it. The issues would help, but talk to me about what impressed you on his performance.
Just the ability to still take advantage. I mean, literally a year ago, we all thought he was cooked. Like I honestly thought, like, man, it's over. Like it was good. You got an MVP, and that was a big thing for me. He needed to get that one MVP, so everyone would know his name in the future. But the fact that he's able to do this, drop 40 points, he's not playing. I don't know if they say the minutes on there, but he's not playing all these minutes because he doesn't have to. But the effect he's had on these games is huge, and he makes his team very dangerous because if they need they need some extra help, you have the refrigerator of a man that can score from anywhere, like a catch and shoot three from your 7 footer. It warms my heart because I did honestly think he was done, and if they have to kind of load manage him in this, I don't know if it's ethical, but in a more ethical way, it seems better. I'm really happy about it. So
Maybe
this is
this was all
awesome.
part of the process.
The 13, it's at least been 13 years of the process. Everything from when he got drafted to all the injuries to winning this MVP. This is a very special arc that I don't think anyone could ever imagine. I would have,
Sometimes you just
yeah,
gotta trust the process, man. It
to, to just have
takes
full faith
13
in the
years. It
process,
takes 13 years.
bro. I feel like I've lived like a life since Embiid has been in this league, man. It's crazy the time that passes.
I'm with you though. I have another clip I'll share towards the end, or I don't know if it's the
Hmm.
next one here. On Dominic Barlow.
Yeah,
Keep an eye
yeah,
on. Oh, right here. Keep an eye on him because even with Paul George, like before he got suspended, he's been
ugh,
he's been a really underrated player for the 76ers. So
yeah,
like just the thing that stands out is like he's not afraid to attack. Very simple clip. But if they can get that out of him next to Edgecombe, Maxey, and Embiid,
yeah.
um, it's a lot of games that Paul George is missing. But I think they can get him there, and I'd expect him to have more minutes.
Yeah, and if he can shoot as well, I'm pretty sure he can. It'll just it's kind of funny. I think the Spurs had him last, and they kind of gave him up to give him to the Sixers. They're kind of doubting or regretting that. But also, I saw this one hilarious tweet where it's like a Sixers fan said, we don't need a we don't need a trade to for Giannis. We got Giannis at home," and it was just a picture of Dominic Barlow. So
Hey man,
very
I
funny.
my college buddies love him.
Yeah,
Like I've seen clips of I think they pulled up to like one of
really.
the Rutgers gyms or like one of the local like New
No
Jersey
way.
gyms, and like they just saw Dominic Barlow randomly show up. I think it was like a North Jersey gym and whatnot, and
That's crazy.
yeah, they're one of their favorite players and stuff like that. So he's a hooper, man.
Yeah,
He'll go any gym, so, and those are the kind of guys you need, like people that scrap and claw. And you hopefully he'll do that for the Sixers continue the
yeah,
success, so they don't miss Paul George that much.
yeah. Definitely exciting. That's awesome. Real one.
All right,
Yeah,
newest bull, Anthony Simons almost put up a 40 burger versus the Heat. Look at
really.
the shooting range here. I since he was on the Trailblazers next to Dame, I'm just like, okay, watch out for this guy. You're not gonna miss CJ McCollum. Now he's on the Bulls, and I think he has a lot of untapped upside. Like look at him like get into his own shot, figure out his own three on the Celtics, and um, yeah, I think this is a great get for the Bulls. But you see the playmaking as well. So
Hmm.
um, I don't know how many shots he's gonna get, like with Giddy and stuff, and how that dynamic is gonna work. But like his ability to not just shoot threes and figure out like floaters, like get the mid range and stuff, like kid is special, and I really like what I'm seeing. He even looks like Dame on some of these step backs, which I
Yeah,
didn't think I would be saying that. It's kind of crazy.
the left dribble, step back, like left dribble, like push off right, step back. That at the beginning of this clip looked exactly like Dame,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I
It
don't know if
was
the
right
Bulls have.
there, like the corner
Yeah,
three. That's
yeah.
exactly what Dame would do. Like it's I I'm shocked.
I don't know. I don't know if the Bulls have thought of this as hard as maybe I'm giving them credit for or assuming. But so who's Josh Giddey? Josh Giddey is in the mold of a player, say like Luka Doncic, maybe like LeBron James. If like they're the same type of player, right? Big, big like forward wing facilitator, guy that can make passes, create plays consistently on offense. So how did Luka get to his the farthest in the playoffs with Kyrie Irving, a scoring guard who can play make, but that's not his main thing. He scores. If you need a bucket with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, you throw it to him and he's gonna figure it out. And I think that's what Anthony Simons could do here. That Kyrie Irving role next to a like just great playmaker, where he's just gonna score. He's gonna do his own thing, and it's specifically when the team needs it. So who knows if the Bulls have thought that far ahead? But I think it's very interesting. It's very
I
nice to
think you're
watch.
giving them a little bit too much of credit. I
I
think you're
know,
also
right?
wild for comparing Giddy to LeBron and Luca. Um,
Well, it's the same mold. He's on that mold. I'm not saying he's
style of play, yes.
yeah,
But I don't think the upside is entire like and Giddy's been amazing. Like
yeah,
I've been completely surprised by the trade idea. Like and how that's panned out. Um
yeah.
I think before we can get there though, I like how they traded Vucevic and we can talk about that, but
Mhm.
and I like Jalen Smith as a player,
Yeah.
but you gotta get more bigs. Like are we really expecting Modest Buzelis to play the five in some
Insane.
lineups?
Nah,
Like, come on,
insane.
man. Let's let's be let's be real, guys. Unless you're trying to convert Patrick Williams to center and just see if that's a position for him, because they clearly can't find a position for him after 5 years.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the Bulls need to get more bigs,
Ooh.
like the rim runners and stuff like that. So um,
Yeah.
I like the vision they have. It feels incomplete, but don't get me wrong. Sticking back to Simons, this was an absolute player I loved to see. How do we make sure
Mhm.
he's not a Kobe White 2.0? Because if they
Yeah.
both exist on the roster, that's a problem. And he's been called to have defensive liabilities. How do we get that buy-in from him? So
Yep. No, I agree. I think maybe, and it looks like I searched up Tankathon real quick to try and understand who who the Bulls might be able to pick this year for bigs. I mean, it looks like it's the 14th pick as of right now. You could possibly go for Koa Pete, 6'8". He's more of a power forward, but he's huge, 6'8" guy out of Arizona. Yeah, Patrick Ngungba, he's a Duke center. So you have opportunities in the draft, and I think that's what they're going for because I don't know who they'd want to trade for. Not Demontis Sabonis. Let's not do that. So I think they'll figure something out. And I guess now we can start talking about the trades. I don't know if you had anything else.
Paul
There's only
George
film,
suspension.
right?
I think we talked about it a little bit, but
All right.
official
Right.
news. Um, he got suspended without pay for 25 games,
Hmm.
violating the NBA anti-drug program.
Tough.
So initially, when I saw this, I thought this was a like a performance substance abuse kind of deal. But then when I read into it, it was more
Yeah.
like it was
He
an
just took the
improper
wrong thing, like wrong
medication
medication.
with
Yeah.
like a mental health like thing he was trying to address, like a mental health treatment he's trying to address.
Hmm.
And I heard this by the not the TNT guys anymore, but like the NBA guys
Oh,
like Shaq and
yeah.
stuff like that. And it got me thinking like he's not really it's not like a performance enhancing medication, which is why it was weird that it was a 25 game suspension.
Yeah.
Did you see things that way? Because like I thought it should have been less. I mean, good for the Sixers end that they saved that much of money, but I think
Yeah.
I don't think this was like a drug that caused them to like perform well above his peers or whatnot, you know? Like you kind
Yeah.
of get the idea what I'm saying. It's like I thought 25 was a lot for
Mm.
like what the actual mistake was,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's a lot more important conversations and like how it's going to affect the team and whatnot. Like I'm sure he's kicking himself for like
Yeah.
making a mistake, but
Frustrating.
what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I agree. It does seem like a lot, especially if it's not really like if you can't prove it's having like an amazing effect that he's playing like 2019 Paul George, but yeah, I think it will have a big effect. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know much more about it, so it just sucks that it's like he's trying to help it like fix his mental health and it's kind of come back to bite him in an unfortunate way. So maybe his doctors need to lock in this whoever's prescribing that. Maybe maybe the doctor handwriting was too illegible.
Oh my God.
Who knows?
I don't know what you mean by that. That sounds like God.
Like if you don't know that joke where like doctors they'll write something and it's just like squiggles and you're like, what is that? And then you show it to them, they're like, oh, it's ibuprofen, and you're like, what? It's
That does not spell ibuprofen. No, I totally got it. It's just me having my
okay,
mind
good.
drift where it drifts. But
No, you're
um,
good.
yeah, I mean, as far as the rest of the roster, we talked about Barlow already. I don't think it's going to be a by committee situation, but like
Yeah,
you got Edgecombe, you got
Oubre.
Joel Embiid, like
Yeah.
Maxi. So like is McCain back still?
I think he was back. I saw him. He had a really good game recently, so
Okay.
he's playing.
So you got like four players like that they're expecting like 15, 20 points from, like you can easily get.
Hmm.
But it's like how do you fill that void of the wing player? And then Paul George was just coming out of a fantastic game.
Yeah,
So it's like, do you have to do like a combination of Eric Gordon, Quentin Grimes, like just looking at Kelly Oubre, like I saw his stocks go up. Like
yeah,
it'll be very, very interesting to see how they try to get Paul George's production and like his value and like these different players. But I think my instinct is give Barlow more minutes and like try to build up the bench behind him and see what you got.
yeah, yeah. I hope, I hope that works for the Sixers. I think it's really big for the Eastern Conference playoffs because yeah, they may not be super worried depth wise, but could they lose a few more games because of this? Could this affect where they end up in the standings, who they play in that first round? The Sixers, I mean, they were the one seed there for a second, and I think Tyrese Maxey's playing an MVP caliber season. It's kind of worrisome, but really, Paul George and this team being the third, fourth guy, can that be replaced by Dominic Barlow, by Kelly Oubre, Quentin Grimes, even? I think so. Unfortunately, you're paying a lot for that type of production, but it is what it is.
I don't think it changes much things in it because right now they're sixth.
Oh,
They're eight and a
really?
half games behind the Pistons. So I don't think with a Paul George they're catching the Pistons at the
Mm-hmm.
rate they're like, but every other team they're within 3 games, right? And the Heat
Yeah.
are 2 games behind them, right? So maybe
Yeah.
they drop down to seventh or eighth, but like I don't see them dropping to the last spot of the play-in or 25
Yeah.
game talent they have. I have a feeling they'll hover somewhere between 5 and 8,
Mm-hmm.
closer to 5 and 6. Because you do see a drop off from like the Magic to the Bulls, like in the
Yeah.
conference. Like,
Yeah.
I obviously it's plus 500 to below 500, but like beyond that, like just looking at these teams in the tiers, like
Mm-hmm.
unless like the Hornets make a magical run and like the 76ers
I
slide at the
mean,
same time, that's something to be concerned about. But I'm not. I actually don't think it'll be too bad for them the rest of the regular season. Now
I
you got
will
to think
say.
about matchups. Like I
Mm.
think if you're looking at this, you definitely want to be matched up with the Raptors versus like the Knicks or the
Oh yeah,
Pistons.
for sure.
So Celtics not ideal, but like if you get one of those matchups, that's great. So I don't think you want to be in the seventh or eighth spot if you can help it if you're Philadelphia. But so
No,
that's a key thing
definitely.
to watch out for.
And I mean, the Hornets, they are on a 7 game win streak, the best in the league right now. So just a very interesting thing to note. So it might not be as cut and dry. But yeah, I think it's funny pointing out the play in, the annual play in teams. What are they? The Hawks, the Heat, and the Bulls.
They're still seven to
So
ten, man.
funny. It's so
How does
funny
this happen every year, man? Like how?
every year. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, you're kind of trying to move in a direction now. I mean, the Hawks as well, and I feel like the not the Ravens, the Heat are trying to push into that like Giannis sweepstakes to get ahead, but who knows? Yeah,
I mean,
man.
let's talk about it. Um,
Yep.
all right, at the Bulls answer, we we get Dario Saric and two future second round picks. First thing that Bulls made a lot of deals. I didn't really have
Yeah.
that on my radar. But Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis,
Mhm.
Sacramento Kings get DeAndre Hunter. Bulls get Dario Saric. We talked about Keon Ellis. I love this move for the Cavs. They're
Yeah.
clearly like trying to go in a different direction with the guards, get more guard depth, get more defense on that side of it. Um, and you clearly see that if they're able to get Harden, they'll have a
Yeah.
more well-rounded base of teams. But um, to me, I thought this is a really good deal for the Cavs.
Mhm.
Bulls, great that you got some picks, great. And then like the Kings, okay, you got DeAndre Hunter, but still the plan's a little bit unclear, like just on that surface level of the trade.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for the Cavs is what was DeAndre Hunter doing for you? I have him on my fantasy team, and it's been a tough watch. And he's on a reasonable contract, and you kind of switch him out for a great, like we said, a great defender who's on a steal of a deal. And so I think that's huge. I have a feeling they're also going to make Alonzo Ball move just because he hasn't been super effective this year, unfortunately. But yeah, the Cavs really looking to make moves, even though they are limited. They're the only team in the league in the second apron, so I think that's super interesting. The Kings, in my opinion, the Kings were just fire sailing. Just get everything you can, like get rid of anything that's worth anything for picks or just a reset, really. And especially, I think I don't know if DeAndre Hunter's younger than Keon Ellis, but just a guy that can be around. I don't know. I think I have a feeling they're gonna fire sale. Like I'm really itching for that and to see what happens, but who knows? I think they should. They need a reset, and they have. I think they have all their draft picks for a few years. So you've been bad, but be really bad, and maybe you pick something up.
I mean, to his credit, DeAndre Hunter's been putting up some good games. Like he had 16
Yeah.
points against Oklahoma City on the 19th, and
Hmm.
28th he had the 19 points.
Okay.
30th he had 17. So he's been putting up numbers when he's playing, like at least 20 minutes. But I think I think for what the Cavs need to address some of their weaknesses is the move they need to make. So
Yeah.
I see
You-
where they're coming from with that. At least they didn't do a deal for Duop Reith and 2 second round picks and then Mitch Krebs. I don't even know who these people are. Like I'm like,
Vic Krejci. He's a shooter. I think he's is he Croatian? He's some Eastern European.
it's like a Croatian sounding last name. Forgive me, people. Um,
Yeah.
just assuming here, but um, yeah. I mean, I haven't known about this guy, and he was drafted in 2020, second round.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
um, very curious to see why the Blazers wanted him. Um,
Shooting.
I don't think it
I
moved the
mean,
needle that much, but okay.
the the shooting on the Blazers. Who can shoot on the Blazers very well? Not Drew Hall. Drew Holiday can shoot, but he's kind of the point guard here. Denny Avdia is okay. Shaden
Dame
Sharp,
Lillard.
no. Well, technically not playing. Jeremy Grant, eh. Don McClingan doesn't really shoot threes. So you're already going down this list here, and you're like, you need shooting. So I guess maybe I don't think he starts, but you need some sort of shooting maybe off the bench. So yeah, that's probably why they did it.
All right,
So
end
big
discussion. Let's
O.
talk Jaren Jackson trade. What did you like? What did you dislike? Both sides.
I like for the Grizzlies that although I saw this and I was like, okay, the Grizzlies were gonna let go of their competition, like their will to compete. But the Jazz, I mean, that was very surprising to me that the Jazz are like, we're going all in now with Jaren Jackson Jr. I sat at my at work for 5 minutes just being like, so what? The Jazz are competitive? Like what? This is confusing and interesting. I mean, Keontae George probably advanced that timeline a little. But no, very good for the Grizzlies to be able to get all of this haul, all of these picks. I think three first round picks for Jaren Jackson, but also none of those picks are Utah's picks. Those are all other teams' picks.
Right.
So you gain without losing control of your draft, which is huge. It's like you just had a bunch of extra money left over, and you're like, let me buy a nice new car. That I like. Obviously, that's not very common for people. That not very relatable, but it's kind of the vibe, and it's very interesting how young the Grizzlies have become now, and their core of Cam Spencer, Cedric Coward, Zach Edey, and Ty
It's weird
Jerome,
because
who
Jaren
played
Jackson's
well.
26. They traded away a 26-year-old player.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard of another team trading away such a young player, but anywho, um, I think it just had to happen, and Ja's definitely up next. Uh, the only worry I have is Jaren Jackson Jr. I think this year and last year has led the league in fouls. Him and Karl Anthony Towns are just guys that don't know how to not play like with their arms swinging around everywhere, especially on defense. So if he can kind of lock that in, that'll help. But this is gonna be a big team in Utah.
Keontae George, six
Yeah.
four. Ace Bailey, 6'9".
Oof.
Jaren Jackson, 6'10". Walker Kessler,
Lowry
7'2". Lowry Markkinen, 7'1".
7. Oh yeah.
That's going to be the lineup. Everybody stays healthy at the beginning of next season. This is a
Hmm.
window move for 2027 to 2029
Yeah.
that they're trying to make right now. And we were talking about Utah with Keontae George last week. They're coming, guys.
Yep.
Be on the lookout. They're here. And on the surface, I see, and I love Walter Clayton as a talent,
Yeah.
and I see the few first picks for the Grizzlies. But I don't know if the other guys really excite me too much. It's
Yeah.
really just a move to get the first round picks and take a flyer on a player because like I'm like, okay, does he really fit with Ja? I don't know. Seems like
Well.
different dynamic players, but like,
Hmm.
and then if you're moving away from Ja, it's like, okay, well, if Jaren Jackson went for this much, how much? What are you looking for with Ja, a guy that has had a lot of off the field scrutiny? That's going to decrease his value. So it's, um, yeah, I'm puzzled by the other piece of the Grizzlies got because I don't know how much Joris Niang, Taylor Hendricks, and Kyle Anderson move the needle in players. Like,
Well,
why did it
yeah.
have to be an eight-player deal with those specific players? I'm very curious on that.
Yeah. Probably the salary matching. I mean, Taylor Hendricks. It's very interesting. The Mavs almost drafted him over Derek Lively. He was someone we were looking at, but Taylor Hendricks does have that possibility to be like a good defender. He missed a whole year with a terrible knee injury, like very graphic when you see it. But yeah, I think Walter Clayton Jr. comes in as that second guard. Taylor Hendricks could be a backup forward. So yeah, It's there was something else I wanted to say to that. You said the draft picks, but I think I think if you're the Grizzlies, right, the main thing is getting those draft picks, those opportunities to get these good players. I don't think they didn't get any opportunity for any of this year's draft, but 27, 28, who knows? I've heard it's not going to be a great draft, but we'll see. Maybe some guy comes up. Who knows?
Moving
Yeah.
on. Jane Ivey goes to the Bulls. Mike Conley goes to the
Yeah.
Bulls. Um, how many guards do you want? Bulls will take them all.
Yep.
And then we'll talk about the Simons trade later. So like you got Conley and Ivy in addition to Kevin Herter and Dario Saric, who the Bulls just traded for, and a first round pick swap with the
Yep.
Timberwolves to the Pistons. So maybe okay, cool.
Yeah.
I will say this
Well.
about Ivy. I was a big fan of his when he came out.
Hmm.
I'm very curious to see how he's gonna work with Simons and Giddy.
Yeah.
That's and where does Mike Conley play a role with this? Is he a salary cap casualty? Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I like the fact that they've taken the chance on the talent because typically when the Bulls have done this, they've been 100% right. Like in trading for the player, like the last thing I could think of was Levine and Markkinen. They both worked out.
Yeah.
So you're hoping Simons and um, Ivy work out too, because especially with a Giddy for a guy who's been a really really surprising player, and
Hmm.
Bazell has continued developing. That's a quartet you could work with.
Yeah. Yeah. I find it interesting. I think for the Bulls, all right, you get a lot of guards. I think Mike Conley might at the least at his least helpful. He might just be like an end of the bench guy to kind of teach some culture to these young guys. And I mean, he's an amazing player. I saw one too where it's like Mike Conley has shown three teams in this league some of their best years. The Grizzlies with the grit and grind Grizzlies, the 21 Utah Jazz. If you don't know about them, they were top one in the West that year. And then these Timberwolves that have gone to the conference finals twice after not going for 20 years. He's a great player, and he's if he's there to teach, I mean, he's getting paid for that. I think the Bulls will get something out of it. So I was mad confused why the Wolves just didn't get anything, and it looks like they're ramping up for a Giannis trade. So that'd be nice
Yeah,
for them. And for the Pistons, I was like Pistons involved. Like, what could this be? And it was, I mean, I was like, what is it? And it's Kevin Hurt. I was like, at first I was disappointed. I was like, dang, it's okay. But
he's
then,
been shooting the ball well though. Like
yeah,
him and Duncan Robinson, like that's nothing to sneeze at right now for what they need.
yeah, yeah. Now you have 48 minutes of a threatening shooter almost at all times on the court. And I think it's very important because, yeah, Javante Green, Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland, Tobias Harris can shoot, but all of those guys, they're not shooters. You're not like sprinting to get to them when they
And
catch the ball
Cade doesn't
outside.
actively seek out 3 point shots.
Yeah.
He wants to live in control in the paint and get to the rim. Like
Mhm.
he can shoot it, but like you want the floor spacers to let him get into what he does comfortably better.
Yep.
So I totally understand why the Pistons made this move.
Mhm. It's a good
I
move.
I I thought they gave up on Ivy too early by making this move, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But like with the way the team is functioning now, do you really need him for the push you're trying to make this season? That could also
Exactly.
I can also understand it from that perspective.
Yeah, and even furthermore, he was a I think he was a restricted free agent last year. The Pistons didn't sign him to any extension, so he would just be an unrestricted free agent this year. And there's just so many questions. If he hadn't have missed that time with the was it femur or fibula tibula injury last year, I think we would know a lot more, and the Pistons would be able to understand and do something about it and be more confident about it. But they can't. So I think that's why I just let's get rid of that decision. We don't need it. Let's just improve what we need to, and it's better to have to deal with make a trade than to deal with this in the off season. So yeah, exciting for the Pistons. Then I think we just have one more
The
trade.
Vucevic trade. I'm checking Bleacher Report right now. I haven't seen anything, but who do you think
My
won
phone
that
doesn't
trade?
go off.
Bulls Celtics.
Mm, it's very difficult to say. I honestly think the Celtics won because they got off the money for Simons. I think that gets them under the luxury tax or some financial marker, and they didn't have to give up a first round pick or any sort of pick for it. And I was like, this the the Bulls got rid of this and got no first round picks back for Levine, DeMar, Vooch, and Lonzo Ball, and if you want to say Alex Caruso as well. Like that's insane. That's kind of wild. And so in that sense, it's done. And one other thing I thought of is it took it took almost no, it took 2 years almost to trade all of them away. It didn't just you didn't just insta do it, get at their peak value. So it's just kind of tough in that sense. So in the end, the Bulls didn't really win in this trade. They didn't really win, but they win in the fact that they're moving on to a new time, a new era, and that's what I think we're looking forward to the most.
Are we Diego?
I
Because
mean,
this is like the third time they've done this since they had Rose and Butler on the team. And I
yeah,
can't and you know why I think of that? Because I saw Rose's jersey go up in the Raptors.
yeah,
And it's all over my feed, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I loved him as a player.
yeah,
But the thing that's the biggest what if. Like
hmm
if
yeah,
it's Caleb winning a Super Bowl this for 1 year, Derrick Rose
not
never
getting
getting
it.
injured, like
Yeah,
that's Derrick Rose because they had it. They had
yeah,
it in the back, and I thought they moved on from Rose and Butler way too quickly. There's a lot of politics going on. Yeah, I get it. But
yeah,
since then, like Levine and Markkinen, nice story. They had a run in for a
yeah,
year where they were number one in the East, but they haven't fully figured it out. There's always something incomplete with the roster.
yeah,
And what gives me confidence that they're going to figure it out this time, given what you said about like not even getting a first round pick for the combination of a starting lineup that was like first in the East.
yeah. That lineup was fun to watch in that. What was it? It was I think it was the fall of 2021. Yeah, there was a stretch there where the Bulls were the number one team in the East, and that was
That's
lightning in a bottle.
like, what are we doing here? And, um, but I can't, like, they're getting the players you want to get out of trade, the type of players.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're getting equitable value for them. I definitely think they should have got a first round pick,
Hmm.
but especially because of what Vucevic will do for the Celtics.
Yep.
It's they got their Porzingis, their lesser version of Porzingis,
Say
without
nothing.
the defense. Like,
Yeah.
and that's huge for the dynamic they're trying to get on offense.
Mm.
But Simons is a great player.
Yeah.
Ivy's an underrated player that can be special, and the Bulls typically nail those like really, really well.
Hmm.
And you have Giddy playing on top. Like looking at the fit and like where they have all these young players, this is a really, really great spot for the Bulls. The problem
Yeah.
is they didn't get a big man in return
Yeah.
in any of these trades besides Sarge, who they proceeded to trade away for
Yeah.
Ivy. So it's like, what's the plan? It's still an incomplete roster, and I love Zach Collins. I
Um,
love
yeah.
I love Jalen Smith. But now you're pretty much stuck with Jalen Smith, and like he's got to figure out like how many minutes he's playing because
Hmm.
he's unrestricted minutes tonight against the Bucks.
Really. Mm.
So what happens if he goes down with re-injury?
Yeah. A lot of stuff to
This is the
five.
thing with the Bulls; they have no plan for all the areas of their positions. They have it in great spots, but like that's not going to get it done in this league. We just saw Indiana and OKC like build up like 9, 10 players deep of rosters for the finals run and utilize all of them heavy minutes.
Hmm.
And I get that approach on what the Bulls are doing, but like, okay, having 6 to 7 guards, I get it partially, but like you gotta have like big man and big man depth too, like
Yeah.
for what you want. So it might seem like I'm like, okay, great, Booch is traded, but like I'm complaining we don't have bigs because we traded the big, but yeah, I am doing that, but I'm doing that out of the precipice of like this is just poor planning.
Yeah.
But I love the upside the players bring. But now, like, you're not giving the franchise hope for the rest of the season that they can make some mid-season push. Like, this is clearly a like, screw this season. We're gonna try and address everything in the off season, which is not a guarantee with this organization. So
Yeah, I would. I would just say for sure, like you said, too many guards. Some of them for sure had to get traded. Well, like you said, no one's sure about that. So we'll see. But also, I think they drafted Noah Senge. Who knows how good it can be or will be soon. I think he's a center, French center. So there's possibility. Who knows?
he's actually listed as a forward, 19 years old,
Really?
6'8", skinny man. He's 200
Yeah.
pounds. Um,
19, he can still
yeah,
go.
I mean, unless you're asking Julian Phillips and like Zach Collins to be your five, like for the rest of the year, they're gonna have
Zach,
to make a
yeah,
move. And I'm curious to see what they do. Do they go after Nurkic? Do they go after like some guy from the intermediate? Like,
from
do
the
they get a
GP,
guy
yeah.
from the Mavs because the Mavs are like kind
Center
of tanking?
heavy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
let's
knows?
do business, Diego. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if Daniel Gafford will get us anything from you guys. Definitely someone. Who knows?
I mean, you'll be surprised.
What if you guys take
Like we
80?
we just traded second round picks for Simons and Vucevic, so like
Hmm.
we might just give you our first for Gafford and somebody else because we feel like it.
Yeah. Or you could just take AD, take him back home to Chicago, get butts and seats, right?
And you know what? I don't mind it. This is the one destination I don't mind trading for AD.
Yeah.
Now, don't give up the if they give us the farm, then I will. But like
Nah, like maybe.
give him at the discounted price he's being valued at the market. Don't
Yeah.
That's the problem with the Bulls.
Well,
They don't understand market value.
you would need you would need multiple players because I don't think anyone on the Bulls makes the salary AD does. You'd need at least 3 players. The Bulls have to give up 3 players, and then
So it's like, would you take on a Kobe White
Kobe White
like
would be
Io
great.
DeSumo and then
Io,
I'm just trying to think on the spot here. Like, would you take on a Patrick Williams like or something like that?
no
Like
one
just to
is
match
taking Patrick Williams. That is,
for AD
I
for
don't know,
AD.
man. He's making like 90 mil for like 4 or 5 years, and he doesn't. Like, he doesn't really
Well, how
play.
much is AD making?
80's making like 50 mil a year.
Okay, so if you want to get
Let's see
off,
if I can spot that.
yeah, I'm not saying one for one,
No,
but
yeah,
I'm
I'm just.
saying like if you're trying to match salaries and you're trying to get off of AD,
Hmm.
you have a guy that hasn't worked at the franchise.
What the
You
heck?
already have your cornerstone of the franchise with a couple big men.
Hmm.
Like maybe like you go the change of scenery strategy and see if that's you're gonna get more out of Patrick Williams with Jason Kidd, who's a great coach by the way.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you got to consider if you're Dallas and if that's your only option to get off of AD, who's not doing anything for you, given even though the salary's lower. Like you'd have to think about that. And if you're the Bulls, like what if you got to lose? Like what is your option outside of trading for AD? Like starting Jalen Smith for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like, come on, that's not. You're gonna have to go small ball for the
Okay.
rest of the way. So,
So right
or
now I've
Zion.
got Kobe White, Patrick Williams, and let's just say Jaden Ivey. What does that get us? That works for the. Oh, dang! I only did one. That's kind of weird. Yeah, it's just worth a look on the trade machine. Oh, I can't. It's weird. Anywho, yeah, who knows? But definitely the Mavs need guards, and the uh the
Bulls
Bulls
need
have a
big
squad.
men. Let's make a deal.
Yep. Yeah, but good trade deadline so far. I was scared it was gonna be quiet, and the Giannis ball hasn't even dropped yet. The John Morant could just go for pennies because the Grizzlies are like, well, we have 8 first-round picks. Not mad if Ja only gets us 1. We just want to get rid of him. So that's exciting.
All I'm saying is OKC.
For
The
Ja?
no for Giannis, man.
Oh, I don't know. If I'm OKC, I'm chilling. Just because you have won a championship. Things have been rough, but you need these type of moments to just understand that you can get through adversity like this. 'Cause this has been a tough stretch for the Thunder, losing to all sorts of teams, the Raptors, the Pacers, the Hornets, like teams that if you told me 2 months ago they lost to, I'd be like, dang, that is disappointing. But I think they still get a similar record to last year. So they've also had injury
All,
issues.
all, all I'm saying is trading first round picks for OKC is like giving away like dollar bills, like one
Yeah,
dollar bills, like off the
it's
street.
true.
They're
Yeah,
not losing much.
they're not.
Like they still have a bright future. Like
Hmm.
they're the one team in the league that can think think twice about trading for a guy who's injured his calf so many times and take a chance and see like the upside he brings. But all right,
Yeah,
guys, that'll do for us. Let us know what you like, what you disliked about the trades we talked about.
yeah,
Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Let us know. And hopefully next week we talk about the new landing spots for Ja Morant and Giannis, and it's going to be complete bombshells that happen 6 hours after we record because of course it does. But Diego, do you have anything you want to tell the group?
no, just get ready. As I always say, NBA Christmas coming up soon. The real NBA Christmas on Thursday, the trade deadline when all types of wild and wacky things can happen. So we'll see. I'm excited. Get get hype. Get your Shams notifications ready on Twitter.
I thought you were about to say Woj there. It's been too long. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, also our lineups are coming up too, so maybe we'll talk about it next week. But
yeah.
that'll do it
Jeez.
for us, guys. Let us know
Yep.
what you think, and can't wait to see what next week brings us. So with that, we'll see you later. Diego, hit that outro, buddy.
Yep. See you guys.